Business Brain, episode 684 for Wednesday, September 17th, National Monte Cristo Day, 2025. Greetings, folks, and welcome to Business Brain, the show where we take some ideas, we crunch them, we use them, we dissect them, we embody them so that we can each keep on living our charmed lives. Our sponsors for this episode include masterclass.com/businessbrain, where you can go to get an additional 15% off any annual membership. So cool. And bitdefender.com/brain, where you can save 30% on Bitdefender Ultimate Small Business Security. We'll talk more about both of those and why you're going to want to check them out in a little bit. For now, here, hungry for a Monte Cristo in Durham, New Hampshire, I'm Dave Hamilton.
I don't think I've ever had a Monte Cristo, but I'm still Shannon G, and I'm out here in Northern California. I've seen them, but I haven't. Really? This is it's like a deep fried sandwich, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I don't think I've ever had one.
No kidding.
I don't think so.
Oh, they're delicious. It's it's like
is there ham in there and cheese?
Ham and cheese, yeah.
And
at least
fried.
that's the version I've had.
Yeah,
and then
I think you're right.
It's kind of like a grilled ham and cheese, but fried, deep fried. Yeah.
Well, anything deep fried is okay in my book.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep.
But I'm not sure. It looks like a gut bomb to me now. So everything changes. Everything changes. Everything changes. You got to be prepared for it. And we're going to talk
about
the
seasons are changing.
Seasons are.
I'm excited about the season change. I live in New England, so fall is like my favorite season. It feels good. It smells good, and then eventually, we're not there yet, but eventually it'll look beautiful with the leaves changing and all that stuff. But even and I know technically we're not at the equinox yet, fall equinox.
Yeah, when is that?
Autumnal equinox is, I think it's the 22nd is when the equinox is this year, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. But Monday the 22nd, I'm pretty sure. But it's just the smell in the air and the feel of things. The temperature cools off more at night now. It's drier. It's just, I don't know. I get more energized in the fall. And then having kids in school, I learned to look to eventually. It wasn't like all summer I was looking forward to the fall, but starting about mid-August, I would get super antsy about I have been screwing off all summer, relatively speaking, doing fun things
the kids.
You're taking vacations, doing all the things. There's stuff to do outside, you're all that stuff. And starting about mid-August, I'd be like, all right, so when is this going to end? Because I need to get some stuff done. And this summer especially, we had a lot of sort of back-to-back travel. And then I also sort of, at the same time as that and spreading before and after it, I had Lyme disease for 6 weeks. So my productivity this summer was in the toilet. Most summers, it's lower. This summer was a disaster, in a sense. I mean, I survived it. I no longer have any symptoms from Lyme. So it's all good. Yeah. But I've all my travel and stuff
ready for change.
Yeah.
I love it too. I'm a big fan of changes. After a while, it gets, whether it's the weather like we're talking about now, but I think that's something you actually. I think it's easier for entrepreneurs to embrace that change. We're just used to it because we adapt.
Yes.
Hopefully, if you're successful, you adapt quicker. But I found that you have to teach the people around you to embrace that change, and that nothing will stay the same. And that is, I have done it my whole life to, employees. I would always just kind of drop little comments like, oh, well, what do you want to do after this job? Here within my business, but what would you like to do next? And they look at you like, wait, what do you mean? Am I in trouble?
Crazy. What did I do?
Yeah. And so you just go, well, eventually you'll be bored of this job. You want to keep learning, but the job may have a ceiling that you would then want to get through to do something else. And you just kind of drop these little hints about it. And even in, like my wife, she runs our vacation rental business, and that business has changed dramatically. And so I'm always saying, oh, you know what? The only thing that, how do I say this? The only constant is change, right?
Changes aren't permanent, but change is.
Yeah. And so the way you do things has to adapt all the time. The things you love about, I mean, there were points in my life where I could not imagine, I couldn't visualize it in my head doing something in a different manner. And I had to kind of shock myself out of that because you get stuck and you don't adapt, right? When you have, even with it relates to like people in your organization.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, whatever, Charlie does the shipping every single day. Well, eventually, if you don't have this thing about it's okay for things to change, and Charlie starts not doing the job the right way, it can really hurt you. You can hurt your business because you just like, well, that's just the way it is, and he can only do this many, and sometimes he makes a mistake or sometimes this. So just dropping those little hints about change as you walk around your company, your business, and mentioning it even to your like suppliers and vendors, like, well, yeah, this is great now. I'm looking forward to it. But eventually, I mean, we did millions of dollars in business repairing iPods.
Yeah, not today.
Not yeah. And
you
one
couldn't
day,
do that today, is what I'm saying.
One day, it went away because Apple, they've been a great example of embracing change where, I know Tim Cook said it. I don't know if Steve said it, but it's like, well, we have to put our own product lines out of business.
Yeah, we have to compete with ourselves. I think that was a Steve Jobs thing. But either way, yes.
Yeah. So they knew that when they came out with the iPhone, there goes all the iPod stuff, and because why would you carry two devices, right? But it hopefully opens up greater opportunities. So just I
think a lot about Apple. Obviously, I do a show about Apple. I had a career running the company that published a website. All that stuff. Yeah, we both did. But it never, until this very moment, when you said, "Why would you want to carry two devices?" and I said, "You're right." I was thinking. I didn't say anything, but my thought was, "You're right." Once we had the iPhone, we'd stop carrying iPods because why would you want to? And then I thought, until Apple told us we needed a second device, which is the watch, right? So you carry two.
And now the ones in your ears, so maybe a third device.
But here's the thing about the Apple Watch. That feels like the evolution of the iPod to me. It never dawned on me that like all that thinking of getting the iPod smaller and smaller,
interesting,
the iPod Nano with the screen eventually, the shuffle with the screen. Think about, the shuffle with the screen, you put the strap on that thing and it's your watch.
Yeah, it was the same size, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it just never dawned on me. I'm certain someone at Apple is very aware of this because I think that's exactly what happened, like the things they learned. I'm sure other people that are smarter than me have commented on that, but it just dawned on me, so I figured
that's interesting.
Thing. Well, I know. But it's a good example of like things are always going to evolve. If you said to somebody someday, oh, you're just going to wear the iPod on your wrist and it's going to be, no. Like that's
crazy.
I don't want that.
Well, and on that same note, there's been a recent resurgency in the value of iPods because as school districts across the country start to tell kids, hey, you can't bring your phone, or they have to put them in this sleeve or whatever, lock them up so they can't, which I tend to think is a great idea.
You and I could fight about this. I don't think it's a good idea at all.
I think they could have that. I have no problem with them having their phones, but I don't think they should have them in the classroom. It's too distracting.
Mitigating distractions, we're going to talk about that the second half of the show. 100% on board. I think cutting off access to it entirely for the entire day makes it. I think we've gone in the wrong direction.
I see.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
There's a better way to
iPods now
it.
Prices are going way up because kids want to listen to music. And look on eBay if you own some iPods. You never know what you got in your drawer.
I'll have to. Oh, yeah, I do have some iPods in my drawer.
I have a whole bunch.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. And when we also want to talk about your time blocking.
Well,
You
yeah, I
mentioned
want
this
to.
before the show. I'm curious to hear what you're doing with that.
I am eager to tell you about it, so I'm going to do that. But the next thing that we want to do is tell you about our sponsors, starting with Bitdefender, a global leader in cybersecurity. Look, cyber threats aren't just hitting big corporations anymore. Small businesses are prime targets, and most of us, candidly, are underprepared. I used to think we're small, we're under the radar, but all you need is one scam, email, or data breach, and that can wreck your entire business. So you've got to be protected. Bitdefender Ultimate Small Business Security is designed specifically for small businesses. You can install it in minutes, you can add your team, and you are good to go. You get scam and phishing protection, unlimited VPN, password manager, data breach alerts, all the tools you normally have to piece together separately, now in one easy package. And you even get real-time notifications if something suspicious is flagged, which is, one of those things that gives you peace of mind that you didn't quite know you needed. And the best part, you do not have to be a tech person. You can be, but you don't need to be. Keep your small business safe with Bitdefender Ultimate Small Business Security. Save 30% when you go to bitdefender.com/brain. That's bitdefender.com/brain for 30% off. And our thanks to Bitdefender for sponsoring this episode. And look, running a business means you're constantly learning, right? Usually the hard way. And there's value in that, but learning from others is faster and more efficient. That's one of the things we love about MasterClass here. Instead of trial and error, we can go straight to the best in the world and learn how they do it. Take Mark Cuban's class on winning big in business, right? You can pick up some practical advice. I picked up some stuff that I could use the very next day, right? Or Sarah Blakely's class on self-made entrepreneurship, her story about building Spanx from scratch. Gold, pure gold, right? For anybody bootstrapping a company. And if you want motivation, Jocko Willink's critical leadership training will have you charging through your to-do list like it's Navy SEAL boot camp. With plans starting at just $10 a month, billed annually, MasterClass gives you unlimited access to over 200 classes across business, leadership, creativity, and more. Each one is broken into bite-sized lessons. So even if you only have like 10 minutes between meetings, you can still use MasterClass and level up. So if you want to sharpen your skills and keep living that charmed life, join the millions of entrepreneurs already learning on MasterClass. And right now, our listeners get an additional 15% off any annual membership at masterclass.com/businessbrain. That's 15% off at masterclass.com/businessbrain. masterclass.com/businessbrain, and our thanks to MasterClass for sponsoring this episode. So I want to talk about, yes,
I want to
go
tell you
ahead.
real quick. I
Yeah.
just watched the Liquid Death CEO Masterclass with the Mike
Oh.
Cesario.
Yeah.
God, it's really, really good, man. Just so, how do you disrupt the water, the water business? And
Yes.
It's just really a phenomenal masterclass
Yeah.
on how to take some boring brand and do all this crazy stuff with it. I really enjoyed it, so I feel compelled to mention that.
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
So,
yeah, that's good. Yeah, there's
cool.
so much good stuff there. Yeah. So
awesome.
check it out for sure.
Okay,
Masterclass.com/businessbrain.
Yeah, and tell me about your time blocking. What's going on?
Yeah, so obviously I'm aware of the concept of time blocking. We've talked about it on the show before. We've had guests come on over the last decade.
Yeah, we have.
Some of them who've talked about it. And every time I was like, this is not for me. And I was religiously against it because I understand the value, and there is value, in giving myself free time to just kind of go with the flow, if you will.
Yeah.
I
Meander,
like just kind of meander through the day, doing the things that I prioritize. I mean, I have a reminders list of things that I want to make sure I get done, and that's all fine and all great. But in terms of just doing things, it's like, yeah, and I've been successful at that, and I've had a lot of great inspiration that led to success from kind of those letting myself meander a little bit. So
Okay.
I'm like, nope, that works. So for other people, I don't need it. Well, I've got enough on my plate these days that I was finding that I was getting behind on things I wanted to do for each of the different businesses that I kind of am involved with and manage and that sort of thing. And so I did an experiment.
Okay.
The first thing that I did was I started blocking 2-hour chunks, not scheduling every minute of every day, right? But blocking 2-hour chunks 3, maybe 4 times a week, primarily for 2 different businesses. And I do this for the podcast, right? I block out time to do this show during this period of time that you and I block out, the hour-ish or whatever, once a week.
Yes.
We get together, we do this. I'm like, wait a minute. I do this for 3 podcasts a week. Why is that the only thing I'm willing to do this for? Clearly it works. I'm able to be productive and yet can do other things. And I thought, okay, so I did. I started blocking out 2 hours where I'm going to work on Backbeat Media, or 2 hours I'm going to work on this business. And man, it is so great because, and it's probably a byproduct of my summer where I wound up losing a lot of productivity, especially with Lyme disease, but the travel too. And it was like, no, I need to give myself the freedom to stay focused on this one business, not just get done the things that had to get done and then shift gears and go do things for this other business. It's like, nope, I'm going to give myself 2 hours of Backbeat Media time from 9:30 to 11:30 this morning, and it's fantastic. I can get so much more done. And in that time frame, even though I'm fairly disciplined at staying in the world of Backbeat Media, it's like, well, I can stack up the 3 reminders that I have of things that I need to do for Backbeat. Okay, great. Got those done during this time. And they're not mutually exclusive at all, right? And then it's like, well, I'm still in this mode. Oh, there's other things that I want to get done for this business too that I've been like leaving on the back burner because I've been just worrying about, the kind of the more urgent stuff, if you will, the more timely
things
stuff.
That pop up.
The things that pop up. Yeah. And it's been fantastic. And I don't check my email during that time. I don't check messages. I don't check Slack unless it's time to go through Slack for Backbeat Media or Slack for, the other businesses. And I've been doing it for about 2.5 weeks.
2 hours at a time, is that what you said?
2 hours is what works for me. Yeah.
And then in between those blocks, do you let it, okay, I'm going to just see what happens. I've got a half hour. I have an hour. I'm going to just take things as they come before you hit your next time block?
Correct. Yeah, I try to give myself at least 90 minutes between time blocks. I might want to get some food. I might have other things. But one of the things that I've also done, and I am less successful at this so far, I am failing happily, is I am compartmentalizing my email time-wise. I am giving myself 3 30-minute blocks per day where I can go check my email, and that's it. Because what happened was it got to a point. I know this is, at some level true for many of us. My job was that I was working for whoever sent me an email most recently.
Oh, that's an interesting way to look at it.
And it was like, no,
you're totally right.
I can't work for that person, whoever you might be. Like, I'm no longer choosing who my priority
I do it all the
is.
Time. A Slack thing
all
pops
do.
up. I'm at my phone. I'm like, oh, I got to go da-da-da-da-da.
Yes.
And while I think that's sometimes
it's necessary.
And it differentiates yourself between people that don't get back in a timely manner.
Yes.
Or don't respond to a Slack message fairly quickly. But I get it. That resonates with me. I'm working for the person that just sent that email.
Yeah, and I had it in my head because it's been true many times, and it will be true again. I had it in my head that I needed to be hyper aware of my email all the time, because if something came in and I didn't get on it right away, a customer was going to be upset or whatever, right? Like, you don't know what you don't know. But what I realized was, again, doing these podcasts for 20 years has taught me that I can go heads down for hours at a time. And you know what? The world survives.
Everything's waiting for you.
Everything's waiting for me when I finish. And then I have a pile of email and I can just go through it very meticulously. And it like, now I'm in that zone and it's great.
Like it. Yeah, because I bet the people that you're corresponding with, they're not responding like
No,
super fast either.
Sometimes you'll get into a routine with someone, and that's fine. Like it, but no one expects that you're going to see it immediately. They're often happy when you do. And again, there's value in that.
Yeah, there is. Yes.
But which is why I have chosen to do 3 separate pockets of email during the day, because that way there's frequency there. I'm not just doing it at first thing in the morning and then, 6 o'clock at night or whatever. I'm doing a middle thing.
Do you set a timer on, do you set a 30-minute timer kind of thing?
Yeah,
you just
kind of
look at it. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. I'm done at 9:30 kind of deal.
I'm pretty aware of time in general. Like if you asked me what time it was, in general, I could just usually tell you. So I wake up before my alarm if I set an alarm in the morning. So I'm just one of those people. So, but I have set timers on it, and that's helpful. Yeah, I'm not against it. There's I think what I've learned from this, and this is early days of this. It's been the first couple of weeks of this. What I've learned from this is that there's no, I don't need to be so regimented in my belief system about this stuff. Like thinking that time blocking is bad. No, maybe blocking every minute of my time for the
would
day.
Drive me crazy.
That's not for me. But that doesn't mean, like, I book time for meetings, and that's okay. So why can't I book time for a meeting with me about Backbeat? Book time for a meeting with me about whatever. It's like, I'm so much more relaxed about stuff. It's because I'm able to focus and get things done. It really, it's been a game changer for me. Yeah. I'm not working for the person. I'm not working for the people in my inbox. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big deal. And I've recently been able to free up a lot of time in my calendar, which I'm going to talk about that in a future episode.
Okay.
And this is, it's this is a good time for me to lean back into time blocking, because I feel like I have taken possession back of my calendar. And it'll be a great contrast for how things had been going the last couple of months or last few months. So that's awesome. I appreciate the feedback, and I'm going to definitely move forward on it. That's
my guess is this will keep coming up as we both evolve our calendar management, time management, but
it's always, I've been doing this for 30 years. I'm still balancing it.
Same.
It never ends.
No.
But if you have tips for us about the what works for you, we'd love to hear it. feedback@businessbrain.show. You can also find us up on X at BizBrainShow, BIZ. I think that's right. And we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Interact.
We love when we get to interact. Feedback at GigGab. Sorry, wrong show. See, I'm in the wrong. I switched things.
Time blocking.
I had a distraction out of the corner of my eye. Feedback at businessbrain.show. Thanks for hanging out, folks. Have a good day, and we'll see you on Friday. And keep living that charmed life.